What is going on, everybody? It's Wednesday, hump day for the uninitiated. And we are Lineman Life Live. I am your observant lineman, Uche Nwaneri, here with my co-host, Justin Blaylock. We're in Tree, 5 Points Vids. We're all here for the Wednesday edition. As you know, hit that like button if you haven't already done so. A lot of things going on in the world of sports today. And of course, as always, we'll get to our predictions on week 11 in the NFL. Some intriguing matchups coming up. We'll again ad lib on what was week 10 and some of the shenanigans of some really wild games, but definitely want to start off today talking about a headline that you might have slipped by your desk and you didn't quite get a look at it. But as of today, that man in Cleveland, the $250 million man, DeShaun Watson, is practicing with the Cleveland Browns. Now, he won't be playing until, I believe, December 4th.
Yeah, you got two more games.
When he'll actually get an opportunity to get out there and play. But he is now officially back to practice with the franchise. And, of course, couldn't have been set up any more perfectly. He'll be playing his first game of the season against his team, Houston Texans. So that will be somewhat of a subplot to that week in football. What do you guys think about this situation, and where does he fit in at this point? I mean, what does he really? What can he bring to the table for Cleveland that can? I mean, I don't really know what you want to call their season right now. It's not a good one.
I call it a lost season.
What are they, 3-6?
Yeah, 3-6.
3-6.
So with two more games, probably
4-7.
3-8.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe 4-7.
So we're looking at a potential.
If he comes in and runs the table, you're 9-7.
They'll go not.
You're playing the Bills and the Buccaneers. I don't think you're running the table with those.
But
two.
yeah, he's going to be rusty as all hell.
Maybe 1-1.
I mean, no matter what he's been doing, who he's been working out with, you can't get better at football without playing football. You can do all these little, underwear practices and shit. Throw the ball around.
Does anything?
It's not going to be the same. And also being away from the team, I mean, it won't be chemistry. For what?
Now I believe he's been able to be in something in meetings. I guess position meetings.
Oh, okay. I thought he was away from the facility until now. I don't know. Either way, you got 2 weeks to figure it out.
Yeah.
Now, what about as far as backlash? I mean, we know in the Twitterverse there will always be backlash.
I feel like it would have been today if there was going to be. People would have
I
been.
don't think so. I think when he gets into an opposing stadium, that's when shit is going down.
First game is in Houston. There are going to be a lot of boo birds.
There are going to be a lot of creative
I don't know.
signs.
In Houston, they love that cat.
But, I mean, you have to consider how he left.
Yeah, he demanded a trade.
Yes, and a lot of fans still backed him in Houston.
That's true.
After everything.
Yeah.
Because they felt like the franchise was handling everything the wrong way.
Right.
Which, I mean, hey, you look at the previous 2-3 seasons before that, you could definitely argue that point.
I mean,
they got rid of their best wide receiver.
People will probably bus in to not necessarily go into the game, but to protest.
Yeah.
There'll be some kind of
little
outside the stadium.
Yeah, to chase their little clout.
You got people throwing the fucking paint on all these paintings and stuff, and these oil buildings and stuff nowadays. Someone's gonna try something.
They kind of have a gripe though, don't they? That it's actually a cause that should be paid attention to. Not exposing yourself to a masseuse. That should not be a thing, right?
Yeah, true.
I would hope not.
And that's what could make this shit hella awkward.
And it's 2 hours from San Antonio, where the guy just got released from the Spurs for exposing himself to a therapist.
Yeah.
albeit a mental therapist, but still.
But how much awareness do you need to not be an asshole? Like, what? Everyone knows that's wrong.
Just a little bit.
I mean, just read the room. I mean,
all you have to do is just keep your pants on. That's all.
There's times to whip your shit out.
Yeah.
And, and a lot of times you get a cue for that.
If you get the vibe,
a lot of times it's being whipped out for you.
There's going to be heavy vibes,
Yeah.
Not at the masseuse, though. The masseuse, that's how you check for the vibe.
Yes. You're there for a massage. If you're in a whorehouse, that's different. If a sex worker is complaining about performing services, then that's just stupid.
Yeah, you need like
famous.
Triple check yourself. Like, I feel like there's something happening here. Like, are we about to get it on? Like, you need to ask yourself at least three separate times.
Right.
And probably get a cue from the other party.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's usually how it works.
More than a cue. You need something.
Now you got to sign waivers.
Verbal verification, biometric security
and triplicate
added on top.
Yes.
Right. There needs to be an authentication.
Hey, don't take this the wrong way, but are we about to?
I need your thumbprint right here.
Are we about to smash?
Yeah.
And if not, totally cool. But I feel like we're about to smash.
Yeah, but
it's not. I'm not trying to force you in any way. I promise.
Right.
I'm just asking.
I'm recording this conversation for
the only way to know is to ask.
It's authentication purposes, right, Five?
Yeah, I can't know without asking.
I can't know without asking. That is damn sure true. Mm-hmm.
So we'll keep up. I guess the countdown has begun since now he's back practicing with the Browns. The World Cup. That's something that I guess it's about to start. It's on Monday, right?
Starting in 3 days. 3 days.
Yeah.
3 days. Okay, so starting on Saturday. Well,
Team USA versus Wales. Yeah.
I never thought that I would be. They are. Maybe America actually does something this time.
We didn't make it last time around, right?
Yeah, this is our first one in 8 years. So
I know last time they lost to Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
They couldn't make it.
Oh my gosh.
That was hilariously bad.
That was embarrassing.
Like America losing to Delaware.
Yes.
How come our females can be so good in soccer, but our guys aren't even halfway as good?
Have to consider, most male soccer teams, especially in different countries around the world, South America, Africa, Europe, it's religion.
True.
Yeah. To us, it's just.
I get that. I guess I'm just wondering, why hasn't the funding been put behind the sport, especially seeing as how it is getting more popular here on a professional level.
We didn't even have men's soccer at Texas.
I'm
not sure we had men's soccer at my high school.
If you're a beast, right? If you're a beast athlete in America, right? Would you rather play soccer and make maybe $1 million a year tops?
Dude,
in the MLS, if
yeah,
you're the
but
best,
no, but trying to go to the
50
MLS.
million
You're going
a year.
You're going to
trying to go
Premier. You're going
trying to go Premier
Dude,
League.
Christian Pulisic is making more money than he ever could.
How many Americans go across the pond? I can think of probably 2 or 3.
Tim Howard,
but you American, you want to make it in America, right? You want to be a.
You want to make it where that money is, son.
I'm just saying, our best athletes play football.
I like Great British pounds. That's worth more than dollars.
But yeah,
I don't know about anymore.
At least if you're
not anymore.
If you're in the deep south, you're playing football. That's just it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even get an option.
Yeah,
I was
gonna get made fun
basketball.
of.
There was no maybe you should try soccer. That's not even on the radar.
And my high school coach threatened me in the hallway. He just walked up on me out of nowhere. I'm like, yo, I'm going to basketball practice. He's like, you're only playing one. You either playing football or you playing nothing.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. I'm like, bro, it's not even football season.
This is Texas, right?
Yeah.
That's how they roll in Texas.
There's 2 sports in Texas. There's football and there's spring football.
And that's why he wanted me back, because it was spring ball was about to start. And next thing I know, I'm walking into the basketball coach's office. He's like, yeah, so Coach Mullen came in here about 2 hours ago, He said, you're thinking about going back to football, huh? I'm like,
what's crazy is like if
Am
you
I?
play other
Okay.
sports, like you're a beast. You're better at football if you play other sports. Like your body's more coordinated. Like
sure.
you run track or you play baseball, all those things are better for you as like you got to take a break from your one sport.
Oh yeah.
You know?
But not in Texas, you don't. In Texas, they don't want to hear that shit.
I feel like when you're a teenager, a lot of parents are really trying to centralize their kid on one sport just because of the hope that they make it big. It's just how it is.
And statistically, it's a waste of time.
But it's a waste of time. But at the same time, don't tell that to the parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you can tell your kid is going to be an athlete by the first time they run. If they're not running everyone,
if you don't see him, and if he ain't picking his knees up, you know he ain't a natural athlete.
Yeah. I am not a natural athlete.
First time he got to
jump over in first grade.
First time he got to jump over a speed bump or something on the ground, some kind of obstacle. You know everything you need to know by then.
Yeah. See, for me, like I played baseball, and like that's the one sport you can get away with because it's such a specialized skill. If it's like a goalie in hockey or a catcher in baseball, like you don't have to run. You don't have to necessarily be fast. You can just be explosive.
Get that
and that's
ball.
what I got away with because I was not a fast runner, but like I could hit a baseball and I could play catcher.
I've always felt like agility. I've always felt like agility is by far the biggest indicator if you're a natural athlete. If you can move sideways
or
change
if you can move
direction laterally and change direction and turn your hips without that extra 1 or 2 steps that the unathletic kids do. And you'll be all right. Shoot.
Yeah. But
I always tell motherfuckers, I'd be like, look, I didn't even try to go to college. I didn't even try to get a scholarship, and I got a scholarship. And then I'm not so sure I even tried to get drafted, and I got drafted. So
yeah, because they saw that it was effortless for you. Like you were just like, oh, this dude moves. He's big and he moves well.
I didn't push myself to like my mental and physical limit until I got to the NFL.
Damn.
Then I was like, yo, that was a wall right there.
Yeah. And you probably had teammates, right, that worked their fucking asses off and could never be as good as you.
It's just never be as good like in the program. Like, why you put that shit in your body? Like, we're not all gifted athletes like you, Alvin. The steroids, like some guys just got it like that.
Hey, some guys, hey man, that's like Greg Jones from when Greg Jones he went to Florida State. Remember?
I remember him.
Dude over from North Carolina, like literally ran a dude over so bad his head, his helmet exploded off of his head.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure
my rookie year in Jacksonville, I walk into the training room. This is probably during OTAs, and I'm still getting to learn. I'm still seeing guys who are like, oh, that motherfucker. Oh, I seen him playing. Like, oh, this guy, that guy. Oh, that's Fred Taylor. Oh, that's So I'm sitting there, and I just see this fucking it looked like a created character on a fucking video game. Just come walking in with the skull cap, the NFL skull cap with the opening on the top. And he just comes walking in. This dude has like a fucking 10-pack. I'm like, what is this? Who is this guy? They're like, that's Greg Jones. I'm like, the fullback Greg Jones? Like, yeah. I'm like,
and he don't do sit-ups. He just wakes up.
And he don't do nothing.
He just woke up and drink beers.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus Christ.
Some
they really do
bodies are just
human beings that don't need anything.
This morning, dude, I was at baseball practice, because I'm playing in that game. And like I was hitting off the tee with the radar just to see how hard I was hitting it. And I was hitting like 77 miles an hour.
That's not bad, though.
It's not good. I mean, it's not great, but it's not bad. It's like,
hell no.
It's like just as average as you can get. And then this other cat just walks up, takes one cut, just warming up, hits it like 85. Like I was like, dude, this dude is 12 miles an hour on his warm up, faster than me on his warm up. And then I went up, I was like, hey, where do you play? Like, I thought he was a college kid. He's like, I play for the Dodgers. I was like, oh,
okay.
Not in the majors. He's in the AA, but I was like, I was like,
Dodgers.
I was like, all right. So I didn't feel so bad. I was like, all right, I'm a scrub, but
you're not that far off. You're almost professional.
Right. Yeah. This guy does this nonstop for his whole life.
Right. Well, when you get to the bigs, like a big will hit a big leaguer will hit 100 off the tee. Like just he can hit a big leaguer, a standard big leaguer will hit a home run off the tee out of the ballpark. Like no problem.
So
No
about
problem.
100 is what it takes to get a home run.
That's what you need is an exit velo of 100. I've been at 90
at an angle of like 30, I think, right?
Yeah, with a metal bat, I can get up to like 93. So I'm like,
Well,
close?
your swinging
and
velocity.
I'm not big. I'm 5'11", 170, dude. Like I'm not a big dude. So I have the technique. I just never. I don't have the size.
That shit don't being big don't mean nothing when it comes
Well,
to
you're not gonna be huge.
that. That's all about torque and timing. Because
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you right now, I can't even swing that bat. Well, I mean, that's because my shoulders are fucking shit. I couldn't even swing that shit. I just be looking at it like, who wants to swing a bat for $10?
Right. We took BP one off season, like all the old linemen just fucking around.
Right.
I think 2 guys were able to hit a home run.
And they were just big. They just powered it. They'd probably played, right?
Like I was benching like 500 something pounds at the time. Couldn't hit one.
Yeah.
Like I mean,
couldn't even barely get your arm. Your backside arm is like stuck back
too.
there where you're swinging. Like
because it's like you try and like move with your hips instead of like your leg.
It's your hips.
And that was my problem. Like
I broke
hard,
bats,
man.
So I was doing something wrong.
Yeah. You guys are athletes.
I was smashing the fucking ball.
I bet you would if you were like in your mid-20s. If I had like a year with you, I could get you to hit. Because you're strong, you could probably hit a home run, but like it's tough. It's really tough. Like this guy David right here is saying Altuve is 5'6", and like that dude is just a rock of muscle. And what's even crazier is his technique isn't even that good. Like his swing isn't that technical. He's just strong and he puts everything he has into the swing and
catches it at a point.
He hits it. Yeah.
The thing too is you don't even need the right tech. Look at Hunter Pence. He was the most like unorthodox, inefficient hitter you could ever think of. Like his technique was weird, but the dude had a couple 30 home run seasons, if I remember correctly.
Didn't you? Okay. Here's the thing. Like technically his swing is ugly, but if you I study people's swing. So like when you look at his swing, it's actually when he makes contact, it's actually perfect. So have you guys ever
he
seen
he tightens his technique up at the end of his swing.
At the very end when it matters, he's perfect. And for the 98% of the time that it's not, he's really ugly. Like I'm sure you've seen quarterbacks that look ugly when they throw, but right when they need to. Yeah. Like Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers was an ugly ass quarterback the way he played, but technically when it was time to throw the ball, he got everything he needed to get into it.
And he had a hella fast release too, one of the fastest releases in the league.
So that's why I never like when I look at someone that has what I would consider ugly technique. Just look at when it matters. They're almost everybody's perfect at the time when it's needed.
Yeah. I mean, I could see. I mean, it's a specialized kind of thing. So I mean, I can see where everybody finds their own kind of style, their own way of getting to that point. Yeah, which is, I mean, that's the same in football too. Like, you know, a lot of times you're taught footwork, but it's like some guys' legs just don't do their footwork exactly like that.
Right.
So they just find their own way to get there to that same point.
Right, because your body sometimes will tell you, no, you can't do that, but do it this way, you know, and you're just like, all right, I'll accept that.
Sometimes you just have to improvise, like, especially as you get older, like you're not able to like move in certain ways. Just like, fuck it, I gotta figure out some kind of way to get back there.
Is there something that you're painfully obvious that you're not blessed with, that you're just like, damn, I cannot do that? Like, is it play a guitar or draw or sing? It's like, and that sucks too when you try to do something that you know that you're not blessed with, and you're just like, oh my god.
I mean, I don't think there's one thing that I've tried that I've not been good at.
Really? You're just good at everything.
I kind of feel like I should be the best at everything, but of course that's just, that's the competitive.
Right. Understand.
Anything I put like a real effort into, I've been pretty good at.
Yeah, everything that I put an effort into, I've been good at.
But yeah, I'm not
for me though, like I
was doing boxing. I was doing boxing right after I retired for like 6 years. I was working with pros, like two guys who were undefeated, and we had a professional trainer, and he came up to me like after the second month, he was like, "Bruh, you thinking about going pro? Because you could do it." And I knew I could do it, but I was like, and I was I was in better shape at that point than I was as a football player.
Really?
I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah,
that shit's so hard.
I mean, bro, we used to run around this complex, this industrial complex, as our conditioning for like 30 minutes straight, just jogging, right? And first time I did it, you know how it is. Like the first time you do, like the first time you do 100-yard sprints, when you get to college, when they put you on the line, bro, I was panicking. I was like, "Oh my god, I can't breathe."
And I can do sprints all day. Like, I mean, not now, but
this
back in the day, we ran like 24 100s or something as our conditioning test. Knock that shit out, no problem. You asked me to run for like
running
10 minutes straight.
Yeah. It's a show, dude.
Even if I'm jogging, it doesn't matter.
So I got used to doing that after like 2 weeks, and dude, it was like I just started just being able to sprint faster than I ever sprinted, like jump higher than I ever jumped. He would throw 20, not 20. He would throw like 14-pound medicine balls off our stomachs for sets of 15, 4 sets of 15. He'd just stand there slamming them down. And I'm like, dude, that's a nice little 4-pack I got coming out there. Nice little 4-pack, huh? And I'm like, shit. And I'm, as a lineman, we kind of got taught boxing as pros. Like your drill work is kind of boxing. So, I mean, these cats, the only time I got punched by these cats and I got punched was one time in sparring. I got hit right behind the ear in like the 4th round. And it was like, yeah, nigga, I'm done. I was like, yeah. I was like, no, I'm going home.
Yeah, see, that's what worries me. I'm like,
fuck out of me.
I think I could do everything else pretty good, but you never know, like, how you're going to take that punch.
Once I got hit, I was like, oh.
Which one of y'all kicked me?
Being able to take a punch is different than being able to throw.
I can't practice that.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
It was
maybe
just
you can.
The way he caught me with this punch was the punch that makes you that fucks you up. That's
the
stunner.
The button. Yeah.
That's the button punch. And I was like, fuck. I was like, if this is what a cat got to fight through in like round 9 and you're like the heavyweight champ trying to hold on to your championship? No, there's no way. But it was cool to like see that I could do that and I could like outbox them because I've watched boxing since I was like 8-9 years old. I've been watching boxing. So I already, once I learned how to do the footwork to like create angles and stuff like that, oh man, it was so much fun. But anyways, we had to get a little.
I just know someone's getting knocked out by the 2nd round.
Hey, I just don't know. Tell you what,
could be me.
and it's crazy because when you punch somebody and when you hit them and it's hurt them, oh man, you just get like a boost of energy. You don't even feel nothing. I just start going after cat.
I tell you what, before we get started, like I did jujitsu for a long time, man. When you crank someone's arm and you feel it almost break,
you're like, yes.
It like you feel their whole arm like resist and like tense up, and you're right there, you're about to break it, and then you just let go. But like, dude,
for that second,
that's
you know that they're vulnerable.
I had you.
Yeah. Oh man, like
that's like power right there.
You almost want to go all the way through it, dude. I broke some kid's arm in a tournament because he didn't tap, and I felt awful afterwards. But when I was doing it, didn't feel bad at all.
It felt satisfying.
This guy's got to be at a fucking cast next week at school, or however.
He should have tapped. He should have tapped.
Save yourself 8 weeks.
Yeah.
That's what kills me about like MMA guys. Like unless you're like the top echelon, you're going to work on Monday, fucking lumped up, looking like Martin when he fought Tommy Hearns. Or,
I was around the scene for a long time. Like you would fight in an amateur fight or a smoker and get the shit kicked out of you, and then have to go to your regular day job, also making like $15 an hour. Like, so you got your ass kicked, and the amateur fight, like you don't get paid anything for an amateur fight. It's just a sanctioned. It's barely sanctioned event. It's like crazy.
gotta go to the. Oh, you should see the other guy.
Yeah. No,
I tell you what, though,
fine.
being in a ring with a motherfucker, that shit right there, that brought back. That was like the closest feeling to a Sunday. Was getting in the ring with somebody.
Oh hell
The
yeah.
buzzer, the bell going, and now you got 3 minutes, and it's like sparring, but it's not really sparring. Y'all gonna start fighting here in a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once someone starts turning it up, you're just like, okay, all right, okay. Oh, you
Now
want
we're fighting.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Oh, okay. And then next thing you know, you're going full speed.
At least on Sundays, I was relatively sure I wasn't gonna get knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
But you knew though, right?
Yeah.
But playing
possible.
football,
Highly
playing
unlikely.
football. Did you all ever start out with like, all right, I'm gonna feel this dude out, but by the end of the game, you guys are just fucking going at it like full force, like fuck this.
Yeah.
dude.
There's.
Like,
It's usually
this
the
dude ain't
divisional
shit.
cats. It's usually the guys you see twice a year.
Yeah.
Because there's a familiarity there. You start calling each other by first names. You already know when you walk into the line of scrimmage. He's looking right at you like 7-7. I'm like 9-1.
Are you running the zone to the right, huh? Okay.
Let's have a good one now. Let's have a good one. I'm like,
Let me widen my stance out a little bit. Let me get out here so you can't reach me.
Ah, man. All right. So
I try to
back to what I was
going
going to say at the outset of this. I never thought that I would be saying World Cup and Fire Festival in the same sentence, but Qatar, who is notorious for the lead up to the World Cup and the fact that they basically made slavery legal to bring in immigrants and build their football stadiums with thousands of them dying. A lot of human rights violations there. It's illegal to be homosexual. So, like, if you're gay, like, they might, motherfuckers might try to.
They said that you're allowed to come in. You just can't, like, protest or do anything or make signs that say, or be out. Like, so what's the point?
Be out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, what's the point, huh?
Very
let me come in your
repressive.
country, but I can't. Like, imagine if you went to a country and it's like, look, you cannot hook up with your wife while you're here. Fuck
Yeah,
you.
if you do, you're going to prison.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at them and they're like, no, we're serious.
So it's like going to BYU? Like, how often is that shit enforced? Come on.
I mean, but this is the thing. When you have look, this is FIFA. This is, this is Qatar. This is the World Cup. We know there's nothing but fucking corruption and bribes getting passed around between these people. But Qatar is supposed to be a fairly wealthy country. Aside from all of that, they're supposed to have that oil money,
Yeah.
But this
fucking
is
Lambo police cars and shit.
If you look at these tents, you can see there's a door drawn on the front of this tent.
Oh wow.
I didn't even see that.
Are these the conditions? Are these athlete dorms or
Yes, it's where the athletes are staying.
Oh,
What?
the athletes?
No way.
Stop.
No way. This got to be like coaches or some shit.
Not even coaches, dude. This has to be like a fan hotel.
Yeah, this got to be like temporary workers or
What's the temp like over there?
what the fuck?
Probably like
100
degrees.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's fucking
There's like-
ridiculous
you gotta
out
be
there.
just
It's,
like
it's Arizona in August out there, and it's supposedly their cool time of the year.
Their low temperature 76, highs in the 90s and 80s.
So weren't they
it's at
trying to
least
create-
comfortable, but it's still
yeah, I feel like they were trying to
not-
create some type of like massive air conditioning for the
Dude,
games.
here's the thing:
Like the
all,
games are gonna
all-
be too hot or something crazy.
all the money in the world, even with 8 years of lead time, cannot
12
create
years.
infrastructure. You just
Yeah,
they're not
they
going
don't-
to
they just don't
spend
have
money
it.
on the fucking World Cup. This is
Yeah,
going to be
they're
the
not
most
gonna do that.
disastrous World Cup ever. There might be an international incident too.
Well, somebody's got the money.
Somebody's gonna get pissed off.
Somebody's got a pocket full of money, laughing. They're probably over there with Sam Friedman,
Yeah,
hanging out right now, getting blown or something.
oh, yeah.
Somebody's got
Because
the money that was supposed to go to this.
The alleged appearance of accommodation in the Qatar for the World Cup is reminiscent of that of the Fire Festival. I mean,
Get a
and really,
spam.
the Fire Festival
Get you a spam
might have
sandwich.
been, you know what I mean? Like, That's a door drawn on the front.
Yeah. Fire Festival at least had Ja Rule.
I mean, he ran from everybody. He was like, I gotta get out of here. And he just
He's
never
like,
Oh,
showed
"Yeah,
man.
I can't do this, y'all."
up.
But even worse than that, there is an interaction here between the media, Dutch media, and the Qatar authorities. And now, just kind of set this up, they're just here reporting on, arriving at Qatar, basically giving, kind of an overview of what the environment's like, what the festivities are feeling like, just giving you the quick lowdown, the quick 411. You know what I mean? And this is supposed to be something that, there shouldn't be no issues with this. It shouldn't be something that you're dealing with authorities about what you're doing
It's just
there.
like a feel-good fluff piece.
Feel good fluff piece. You know what I mean? But you'll notice here very quickly, as the authorities pull up on him, literally pull up on him to ask him what he's doing. Let's watch.
Og nu er du med os fra Qatar, Rasmus Tandholt, et værtsland, der jo altså bliver udsat for en del kritik. Hvordan oplever du forholdene lige nu?
Jamen, vi kan jo vise, hvordan forholdene er lige her, hvis vi drejer kameraet. We are live on Danish television, og der kan I se, nu bliver vi stoppet med at filme, og det er forholdene her. Mister, you invited the whole world you invited the whole world to come here. Why can't we film? It's a public place. We can film with this permit. This is the upgrade pass, and this is the accreditation. We can film anywhere we want. Okay. There are only, of course. No, we don't need permit. No, but listen, but you can break the camera. You want to break the camera? Okay, you break the camera.
Yeah. He's like, do that shit.
Do it,
that
motherfucker.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Find out.
So you're threatening us by smashing the camera. But listen, sir.
Oh, man.
Oh, damn. So they smashed that shit.
I mean,
this is going to be the worst World Cup. They will never come back to the Middle East. Like a country
they'll never
that
come back.
is more liberal, like say UAE or something like that. This is costing them because that's like
UAE's never going to get the World Cup though. It's too small.
Yeah.
The only reason why Qatar got it is because of that good old bribe money. That's probably why they couldn't afford those hotels. They pissed away all their money in bribes.
But it just goes to show you that the FIFA is the most fucking corrupt and unscrupulous and just
they made a movie about themselves,
right?
And United Passions.
And for me to
it had Sam Neill in it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
For us to try to accept that these games aren't rigged, okay. Like if that's who's running it, then the product has to be tainted too. And that's why I'm just
it has to be.
I love the World Cup.
Yeah. I love the sport. I love the time when the World Cup is going on it's unique, right? Like everybody,
yes,
even here in the US, we're watching that shit. And it's crazy because you always kind of felt like it's this close to being rigged, right? It feels like it's this fucking close to being rigged because of the way that these things are set up. When it was in Brazil, I think we talked about this before on Dumpster Fire. They like made it so that you could only sell one brand of beer and the country got none of that money.
Yep.
Yeah.
Only FIFA got that money in the beer company. So how do you have all these different sponsors who are getting exclusive access to an entire country for the duration of the tournament, but the country receives nothing?
Nothing.
Brazil got nothing from the World
Brazil's
Cup.
poor shit. In fact, Brazil hosted the Olympics and the World Cup back to back, and they poor as shit, about to have a military coup. Like it's one of the most. It's a
so
deeply
corrupt nation.
Yeah.
And like they built this huge state-of-the-art stadium in Manaus, which is in central South America, Brazil,
damn
by the
near
Amazons. And it's just used for like a third tier, like
isn't all that shit in like disrepair now? It's just
it's all coming into disrepair. Because some of it you can't even get to it by land. You got to go by boat to get to it.
Oh wow.
Manaus was that.
FIFA will put this FIFA will say, hey, you're getting the FIFA World Cup. Therefore, you should pass some laws to allow for money for y'all to build new stadiums. And then we'll bring in our resources to take care of all of the local stuff. And we're not giving you any of this money. any of it. Period. And we're leaving as soon as we get done, never to return and never to speak of it again.
It's modern
how
day
is that a good
colonialism.
deal?
Yeah, and dude, countries like line up to fucking host that shit. Like they're just like, yes, bring the World Cup here.
They're not gonna get over on North America like that because you know them motherfuckers is not letting you run nothing.
I mean,
all those brands you got.
Did you not see the last? I mean, did anybody see the last season of Billions when they were trying to get the Olympics? Like, this shit is so inherently corrupt. There's so much glad handing and palm greasing.
Yep. FIFA and the IOC are two peas in a pod. Hardcore non-profits.
So here you got fans who are these are people who are being paid. These aren't even soccer fans. Some of them or they're definitely not England fans. Yeah. And they're getting paid to be England fans.
Maybe
$10 a day with 3 meals a day to go with that. Now, I mean, look, it's not beneath me to take on.
It must be better than what they were doing.
If the money's right, I ain't got no problem with it. You feel me?
But it's got to be better than what they were doing.
Yeah,
because they're there.
$10 in a meal.
They showed up, so it's got to be better than the alternative.
No,
I know there's a longer version of this. I guess not. But it's pretty wild what's going on out there. I mean, it's the accommodation thing to me is just that's unacceptable. Like, come on, figure that out. Y'all should have figured that out first. I mean, they couldn't have built too many stadiums with all that slave labor. But are we going to be watching on Saturday? Yes, indeed.
Yeah, we will.
Either that or college
USA
football
versus Wales. Yeah.
Well, what time is the game?
I think it's 1 o'clock, something like that. It's like reasonable hour. It's not crazy.
Well,
coverage begins at 1. I mean, there aren't any good.
If it was on like the Germany game, like 9:30, I'd probably watch that.
Yeah. If it's early.
Yeah,
there might be shit games on at 1, so if it was like that early, I might fuck with it.
Maybe no other country wanted to host this shit, and then other host nations, like Western nations, have figured out this bullshit, and they're just like,
what happened? As I said, what happened was Sepp Blatter took a huge boatload of money from Qatar, and that's why they agreed to it. That's what happened. You got to grease the palms, and Qatar wants to up their reputation.
I'm
you know
just
how Saudi
saying
Arabia has that 2030 plan
like golf,
where
basically.
they don't want to. Yes, pretty much. They want to expand their brand into something other than oil. So that's why they bring in soccer, boxing, wrestling, horse racing, golf, formula. That's why you're getting that sort of thing.
Is expand into the YouTube sports live streaming market. That's
so we could get like $2 million per episode. I like where you're going with that, man.
Yeah. I'll take Saudi money all day. If they come to me and they're like, "Hey, look, $2 million a year," I'd be like, "Yes, okay, whatever you."
$2 million a year, dude. Up your expectations, brother.
$20 million a year, motherfucker.
Whatever.
And they'll be like, whatever. They'll be like, whatever. Yeah. Sure.
Everybody's got a price.
They'll just print money. I mean, $200 million for all of us. Go.
Yeah, $200 million for all of us to live in Qatar.
Our children will never have to go hungry again.
And we can just go to Qatar on the weekends. We can fly back to the U.S. during the week.
Good. Take my jet.
First class. Get a couple DeShaun Watsons in there.
You just see a motherfucker coming on the camera with the nice headdress on. Just, hey guys, welcome to Lineman Life. We're in Qatar.
Oh, man.
I'll fucking do it. Don't test me. I'll take that money.
Both you and Uche are just baked out of their minds.
We're sitting here condemning. Yeah, we're condemning Seth Blatter, but we take that money too.
Of course.
Brought to you by Exxon.
Yeah, everyone has a fucking price.
This segment is brought to you by Exxon Mobil.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
Don't forget to get your membership cards next time you go to get gas and fill up.
This next episode of Sports Ball is brought to you by Monsanto.
There you go.
If you wash our seeds, we'll sue you.
Yep. Yeah, you can't wash our seeds. Fucking
all right, so let's get into the predictions for week 11. Now, this is week 10. We definitely did not perform as well as in past weeks. This week,
it was a
10
weird
we just had.
week, though.
Very weird week. Somehow, I mean, look, I got the Rams losing to the fucking Cardinals. Who saw that coming? Obviously, Eagles losing to Washington. You know, Seattle, Atlanta, Dallas, teams that should have won, considering who they were playing and how those teams were playing at the time. And they got it done. Chicago, we tried to give them some leeway. They fucked it off. Of course, we had unfounded faith in the Raiders. They fucked it off.
I put the Colts down for shits and giggles, and they somehow won. Because I'm like, you know what? Just lose to the Raiders so I can laugh hysterically. And you know what? Worked out.
Well,
Dude, I bet
stuck with
the
Tim
Colts.
Ellinger, maybe. But when they decided to like put a real professional quarterback back in there,
Exactly.
oh,
It's weird because for all signs were pointing to Irsay being the one that wanted Matt Ryan out for Ellinger in the first place.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. It makes him seem like the
How do
hero,
you
even
square
though
that? Yeah.
he's the one pulling the strings, and it makes no sense because if you were going to do this, why bench Matt Ryan to begin with?
right?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But somehow
That's my quarterback.
Saturday convinced Irsay
Okay.
to put his boy back in. You know, he's like, look, do you want to win or not?
Yeah.
And
Right?
he was right.
Sometimes politics.
Well, there was
Enough
one
conviction.
game in which my premonitions were definitely on point, in that the Vikings would upset by
Yes.
3 points. I said
You were 100% right.
the Buffalo Bills, and that
I
happened.
think you
but-
sold me on that, if I remember correctly.
yes, sir.
Yeah,
I didn't
Yes,
see that.
sir.
But I was still under the impression that Josh Allen wasn't going to play. So I think
Yeah,
I,
that's true. Yeah,
I think I went
thought,
along with you.
I thought Joshy Allen, his arm was fucked.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
That was a
So,
great game.
That was an
disaster.
amazing game.
It's
I
an
mean,
incredible
I
game.
haven't been that entertained in. I mean, damn, what game? What's the last game? I mean, really, since that
Chiefs Bills,
the Chiefs Bills game, yeah, that
Yeah.
was the last one where it was.
That game had everything. Like it had offense,
Yeah.
it had defense, it had great play, it had sloppy play, it had
One-handed
big
catches.
moments, it had unbelievable moments. It's just it had everything you could ask for out of a game.
I think that's when that's for the regular season. That is definitely you
like
could
a-
feel the you could feel the moment. You could feel how big the moment was watching it on TV because this was a huge game. This was like Minnesota's reputation as a good team this season was reliant on them they had to win this game.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how if they lost.
it was going to
by
be
a
all
point
it's
or
the
they
same
lost
old
by
Vikings.
3.
Yeah, it would have been.
Boom.
Yeah. Kirk Cousins
That's
don't
what you're
show
gonna
up.
get. That's what you're gonna get. So their entire season's legitimacy was riding on this game. And even though we see Buffalo as legit, you feel like this is a test that Buffalo has to show that they can get past to solidify themselves as like the number one contender for, a championship. I mean, obviously the Rams are out of it, but I think that even aside from them having won it last year, you still look at it as if, hey, Buffalo, if they need to beat Minnesota so that we can believe that they can beat Kansas City,
Mhm.
because that's what all of this is really. This is the reason you've got to win is because if you can't beat these motherfuckers, how you going to beat Kansas City? Because you're going to have to play them.
Yeah.
You're going to have to play them. So it definitely, in my opinion, you could feel just the size of it. And that's something that you don't always feel in regular season games, at least not the entire game. The entire game, it felt like that.
Yeah, but we're getting there. This is now the point where the rubber meets the road. Like, you're seeing we're separating the contenders from the pretenders. We know who's going to be in the tank bowl pretty much. Like, it's going to be, it's starting to become more obvious who's good and who's bad.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh, go ahead, Tree.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, like, it's kind of hard because there's a lot of teams caught in that muck still. You have a couple teams that have emerged. You have a couple teams that are really bad. But there's at least 20 teams that are still stuck in just that 3-7, 4-6, 5-5, 6-4 grind. And you're just like there. And
there's
it's a
going to be
mosh pit.
several losing records in the playoffs.
Probably.
Usually there's like one per year.
There
every
might
other
be
year.
2, maybe 3.
There's going to be a couple.
In the wild card. Because
the Eagles made it last year at 9-8, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
They
made
snuck in.
9-8. Like the Steelers were 9-7-1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the last one I could really
yeah.
see, I think, were the Washington.
Seattle.
in 2020.
Seattle went in at 7-9.
Yeah.
Seattle went in at 7-9.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
Washington
yeah.
was what, 6-10 or 7-9?
No, 7-9. 7-9
right,
is the
right.
worst. There's never been a 6-win team. If the Eagles hadn't tanked, the Giants would have won the division at 6-10 though. That would have been the biggest joke of all time.
Wow.
I said it. I still think that was just Doug Peterson being Doug Peterson trying to win.
Yeah, well, it
Yeah.
got his ass fired, and now Nick Sirianni's in there, and now the Eagles are fucking good again, and I'm fucking mad about that shit.
I think we all are. Trust me.
Yep.
All right. So first game up, two teams coming off a bye. Jets at New England, going in to play the Patriots. I mean, I like the Jets just because, right now, even at 6-3, I feel like this is a franchise that just kind of found their shtick. They're a grinded out team. They're much like the New York Giants are this year, just grinding out wins, not terribly explosive from their quarterbacks, but their running game is what they live and die off of. And I mean, New England's never easy to beat in New England, but I mean, it's a new day, man. I feel like the Jets got this one.
Yeah, I have to go with you on this one. I mean, they're having to do a lot to overcome the motherfucker back there, but that defense, goodness gracious,
Yeah, they got their defense is
They're-
balling.
they are playing their ass off.
They have an identity, and I don't think New England has an identity quite yet. And I think that's kind of something that gives the Jets a little bit of an advantage, is that what they're coming downhill at New England. New England is going to be tested in their run defense all game long. They've got a stable of running backs. So it's going to be important that they do stop the run, or that's what they're just going to continue to see that all day. Now on the other side,
I think both
New
teams
England, I
gotta do
mean,
that.
shit.
Because
New England might be running the ball too, because the quarterback's just not that reliable.
Yeah, quarterback's
Yeah.
bad,
So-
no receivers. So it's just Ramondre left, Ramondre right. And,
Yeah.
this will be a 2-hour, 45-minute game.
Yeah.
Probably.
Clock running.
Lyman's dream right here.
Yep.
Get in,
Yeah.
get out.
Let's get in that ice bath and let's call it a day.
All right, what are y'all seeing?
I'm going to pick New England because for whatever reason, Bill Belichick has owned Zach Wilson. He owned him in the last game. He made him look terrible the last time they played. And I know the issue too is that their offense is iffy, but you have to consider that Ramondre Stevenson has been pretty good with the rock. Mac Jones has done enough, but I think their defense really showed something against a really battered Colts team. And the Jets' O-line is pretty battered. No Elijah Vera-Tucker, no Mekhi Becton, George Fant's been in and out. Connor McGovern, I think, was dealing with an injury for a hot minute. So they're kind of banged up. So I think this game's going to be close. I'm going on coaching edge, even though I think the Jets are going to do everything in their power to not sweep. That since it's in Foxborough, I will pick New England.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going with New England. It just seems like something that they'll
here's a question. Did you guys see what LaShawn McCoy said about Bill Belichick?
I did, yes.
No,
I didn't see it. I knew he said something, but what did he say?
Let me pull it up because it was pretty inflammatory shit.
If
All right,
Robert
so
Saleh is any good,
here we go.
they should throw the ball about 4 times. Just like
All right.
Belichick did last year at that Bills game. Or whenever they had the fucking snowstorm.
Sean McCoy on Up and Adams show, he says, if you take away Tom Brady, do you know who he is? He's under 500. I think he's a good coach. All the greatest, and we've never seen anything like him. That's bull crap. LaShawn McCoy.
Well, did I not ask you what his record was in Cleveland last time we were on here? Or maybe
his record in Cleveland was above 500. It was above it. It wasn't.
Yeah. And they would have had a good team in Cleveland if he didn't leave. Like he was gonna build. I mean, the Ravens won championship.
Yeah.
Remember, this was the OG Cleveland, not
you have to
the
remember
shit Cleveland.
You have to remember once Cleveland moved to Baltimore, they didn't want Belichick to come with them.
Yeah.
Because that 95 year, they just fell apart for a variety of reasons.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, I honestly, LaShawn McCoy's got some clout in the league. He does, because he played a long time. A lot of teams, he was always very good. Never was a bad player. And I tend to want to believe that at the end of the day, when it comes to judging coaches and whether or not they can be considered like the greatest or have that much of an effect on the franchise that you attribute maybe more than is deserved in regards to how much they won to them rather than to the players who are on the field, I think that you can make an argument that Bill Belichick is a great coach, maybe, greatest in this era, but not greatest of all time, because he had the luxury of having something nobody else got to have for an extended period of time. And if you took that away from him, does he have the same kind of mettle as a coach? Now, we've got a couple of years now of sampling to see
year 3?
without a Hall of Fame quarterback. Still, you can't. I mean, I wouldn't say that if you take away the quarterback position and maybe the tight end position, I would say that they pretty much have hung around the same level of talent on that roster since they've won all their championships. It's been about the same. They haven't they didn't have any special, once in a generational players outside of their tight end and their quarterback. Everybody else
that was for 1 year, 2 years.
Yeah, they had Randy Moss for a couple, for 2 seasons, but
that was it. That was the only receiver.
This team was known for not really having nobody on it.
Well, they had some solid defensive players. They always had
good defenses, yes,
good defense.
but they're
good defense.
And then they still do have a good defense, a solid defense. But this isn't a team that is really lacking or compared to what they've had in the past at many of the positions. So if you get this sampling now of Bill Belichick with the quarterback of his choosing to build and to groom into their starter, where do you? I mean, is that enough to say, okay, no, it really was the fact that he had Tom Brady and he had Gronk?
No, it's really tough because how many coaches are out here winning multiple Super Bowls with average quarterbacks?
Aaron Rodgers. Fucking Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, every time you see a multiple Super Bowl winning coach, most of the time they have a very good to Hall of Fame.
Ben Roethlisberger got multiple. He got multiple Super Bowls.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Roethlisberger.
It was like causation versus correlation of these amazing quarterbacks and amazing coaches at the same time. It's like I don't think anyone lost their awesome quarterback and just kept winning Super Bowls.
I guess the question for me
49ers did.
Yeah.
But the 49ers lucked into Steve Young.
Yeah.
Come on,
I
man.
mean,
Awesome
once again, he was a great quarterback. The problem was Tampa Bay.
He
Wrecked
didn't start
him,
off
and
as a
that's
great
why
quarterback.
he got into the quarterback system.
Yeah.
But it's not like, Brad Johnson won 3 Super Bowls or something. I mean, they get their one, when you have an average quarterback, and then they try to upgrade instantly.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. Now, my question
we'll probably never know, like if a coach can sustain that without a great quarterback, because they're always trying to get a great quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
My question with Belichick will always be like, what did he innovate? Like when you remember Belichick,
what has his tree done?
Right.
Well,
And that to me that's the answer.
That's your legacy.
That's the answer.
Thing is, his tree hasn't done anything because Bill Belichick is the ultimate, he is the ultimate meddler. Like his hands are in everything. His assistants are pretty much just glorified clipboard holders.
Yeah.
And that's why they go elsewhere and they either have no people skills or they're completely clueless.
They all suck.
So then you can't call him
back
the
in the
greatest.
fold, and then they're okay again because
You
he's doing all
can't
the
call
work.
him the greatest simply because of that, in my opinion. Then because usually, and I mean this is true throughout every sport, not just football, but like you said, what tree are you from? A lot of times, you're the tree that you come from. You see similar results from tree to tree based on what that coach that started that tree was able to do. Like you have the Bill Parcells tree, which spawned off some good coaches. You have Bill Walsh. Bill Walsh had, then it went from Bill Walsh to George Seifert, then George Seifert to the next to Mariucci.
Holmgren.
Yep.
Yeah, he had a staff. And they all came from
Reed,
there.
And you got all these
Andy
guys.
Reid came from there.
And they have these guys coming off their trees who go other places, and they have playoff contenders. Some of them win championships, some of them don't. But you see the influence from one tree around the league, sparsely around these different coaches. With Belichick, the only thing and I'm talking about going back to Romeo Crennel and fucking Charlie Weiss. Going back to them, failure on every level, college or professional.
I mean, when your the best coach that comes out of your tree is Bill O'Brien, that's not a good thing.
Yeah,
and that's even only for like 3 years that he went to failure.
Well, he went to failure because they made him the GM.
Then he ruined the franchise. So
right,
I mean, I think that's the real answer in that.
Brian Daboll, Nick Saban, Al Groh, Eric Mangini, Romeo Crennel, Matt Patricia, Bill O'Brien, Brian Flores, Joe Judge.
Matt Patricia, Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, Daboll's only on there, but he bounced around by proxy.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he's more a McDermott tree than he is a Belichick tree. Because he had a couple failed stints as an O coordinator. I think it was the O coordinator in Cleveland for Mangini.
I think you're right.
Chad has some good points in there. Vrabel,
and an offset. He's more O'Brien.
Because Vrabel really comes from
he was a player
from a coaching tree. He's a player for Belichick.
Yeah,
and I think he only had like 1 year as a defensive coordinator.
But also Brian Flores. I say Brian Flores is probably the best thing that Belichick's tree has produced.
And he only had like a year or two. Like
and his shit went down the fucking pipe hole too. So I mean, who do you really got coming out of there? So the coaching tree, I think, is the biggest indicator of how good a coach truly is, because a good coach produces good coaches. And it doesn't necessarily, because the player side of it is too much. There's too many variables there to say, okay, this guy just produced good players. No, y'all drafted good players to fit in the system you created, but your coaches will go forth with this system and will make it a cornerstone of another franchise as you move into the future. And Belichick has failed miserably at that. I mean, I think worse than anybody. He doesn't have a tree that can replicate anything near what he did.
Yeah.
Which means it wasn't to me that gives a
all about
validity to LaShawn McCoy and what he's saying is that it wasn't. He's not the greatest.
He was just keeping all the greatest.
Boom. Yeah.
As I said, it was always like he was the one that had his hands in all the operations. Like he's the ultimate micromanager. And that's like everyone wants to be a more aggressive version of Belichick when they leave, and it just backfires because the only way you can get away with that at the NFL is if you win. And that's a short-term fix at that.
And that's like Saban in college. All the assistants could never beat him. I mean, until recently, I guess twice now.
Kirby Smart.
Yeah. And I think
Kirby Smart was a Saban disciple.
I think.
I believe so.
I don't know about that.
Let me double check.
Saban?
I don't know. What is
Saban?
Yes, he was. Kirby Smart was the Alabama defensive coordinator from 08 to 15.
I feel like everybody's done something at Alabama since Saban's been there.
Well, I mean, that's where a lot of damaged NFL coaches go to rehabilitate themselves.
Failed coaches rehab center. You drop down and be a Saban for 2 years, and now you're good to go back in the league.
Lane Kiffin did a stint.
I think did Sarkisian do a stint there?
I think so too.
Yeah.
Shit,
Bill O'Brien
is that like our assistant wide receivers coach in Jacksonville is now like the O coordinator for Georgia, I believe. I think is it Georgia or is it?
He'll probably be a head coach someday.
Coach Monken. I can't remember what fucking team he's with, but he's with one of those teams, one of those top SEC squads. I'm just like, wow, motherfucker.
I mean,
but
that's a springboard
for real. I mean, but that's the way to do it. He's out there balling he's coached wide receiver in the NFL, assistant, went back to college, got that coordinator gig, balling at coordinator gig, getting paid. And now if he wants to come into the NFL and try and be a head coach, this guy has years in the NFL already.
Mm-hmm.
He's already got years in it. So that makes sense. Now you come back and coach in the NFL as a head coach and you can be successful. But if you're just in college and you're being creative in college and they talk about you're a guru, that don't mean shit, because when you come to the NFL, guru shit don't last long.
Matt Rule.
Don't last long.
No.
Kingsbury.
Chip
Look at Brandon
Rule.
Staley.
Chip Kelly.
There's a graveyard of fucking head coaches in the NFL who were gurus in college.
Yeah.
And they didn't make it through their first contract.
because
You know
that
what I mean? Like-
dealing with the college players,
Steve
eon's
Spurrier.
different than being with an NFL player.
Right.
Yeah, much different
Eons.
dynamic.
Yeah.
Let's keep moving here. Next game up, we got Cleveland at Buffalo. They say that there might be between
3 to
6 and
6
7
inches.
feet of snow
Ooh.
Oh,
in this game.
Taking the
if
under.
that's the case, it's the remember that Buffalo Indianapolis game, I think 2017?
Yes.
That epic snowstorm. It's like that game.
No, Detroit
Those are-
Philly
those are-
one year was insane.
Yeah, Detroit, Philly, that one was crazy.
I mean, if it's 3 to 6 inches, dude, that's going to be a winter wonderland. And I feel like Josh Allen, that's his kind of warehouse where he's just.
I
gonna
feel
run.
like that's his game too.
That's why they got him.
That's his game.
Mm-hmm.
Big arm, cut through that fucking
I'll
wind.
tell you what, man. And they always in snow games. Generally, snow games aren't as cold as like cold weather, like really cold games. I mean, we played
True.
in Cleveland last game of the season, 2009, and it was -13 wind chill. So and there was no snow anywhere. It was just wind and misery. But then we played in Chicago earlier, maybe a month before that. We played in Chicago against the Bears. It's snowing. It's 13 degrees, and it feels like it's like 60, but it's
Yeah.
snowing. So it's weird. Weird that it doesn't feel as cold when it snows. But I mean, I definitely feel like these motherfuckers is about to beat the brakes off of Cleveland for the shit they went through.
Mhm. Yeah, for daring to come into their town.
They've been punched
And I
in the
mean-
mouth the
Mhm.
past 2 games. I mean, you need
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
lose to Cleveland here, it's panic time.
There's panic time. Yeah, you got to hit a button. Something's got to change, and it's like something's got to change in how you're preparing the team immediately. But I think we're all consensus there that they should pull this out. I would say if they had DeShaun Watson for like 2 weeks and this was their 3rd game, I would give Cleveland a shot. But no, they're not going to have a shot this game.
Not yet.
Now, next game up here.
Do we have to talk about this?
I mean, do we even? Is there even a what?
This is a this is because
is
the
a terrible
schedule
game.
says so.
This is
Just
a
give
tank-
both
this
these
is a-
teams losses. Just call it a tie. Just call it a tie.
Please. This is gonna be the worst game. Every week, Brandon Perna
Hey,
comes out with a
I'm giving them the
new
tie.
worst game. This is gonna be
Giving
the
them the tie.
new worst game ever.
I'm giving them the tie. That's a
Like,
consensus.
we'll give you a tie if you both
Yeah.
agree.
Tie.
Both agree not to throw up.
Yes.
Don't force
We'll
us to
give you
watch.
guys. We'll give you guys a tie if they just agree not to show the game on TV.
Mhm. I mean, if you point a gun to my head and say choose a team, I'll go Denver because of their defense, but it's bad.
So if
But
the
it's
World
like-
Cup
but
is
you can-
on, if it's this or World Cup, then I'll watch World Cup.
Yeah, because I mean, look,
Raiders
you
are
got to think of it like
so
this:
bad.
they have a great defense, but they still can only score like 10 points.
Yeah, they have
doesn't matter.
statistically the worst offense in football and the best defense in football.
Damn.
You're the
fucking
77
nuts.
Falcons. That's what
That's
you are.
gotta suck so
Wow.
bad. So we're going with the first ever tie, consensus tie between these two terrible teams. They're both on the brink of literally break. The foundations of their facilities are shaking at this moment and are ready to collapse. Next game up, Bengals. They're going into Pittsburgh. What is it? Acura's Acursia Stadium?
Acrisure.
Why the fuck did they go with that?
Because they paid the most money.
This is an insurance company. Yeah.
I'm guessing FTX was taken.
Qatar Airways.
No.
Bang Bros
No.
Arena.
Bro.
I could go for a Bang Bros Arena at this point.
Yeah.
Give it time. I mean, Miami might do it.
Yeah, they might actually do it. They're just like, all right, FTX is gone. Let's just give it to Bang Bros.
All right, so Bengals at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh coming off a win. They got a little bit something back. They got TJ Watt back. So they're looking like threats on defense again. But still waiting on that offense to kind of find some consistency there. I don't think it's going to be enough. Obviously, these Bengals have found they got their groove back. They've shown that. I think I'm going to go with the Bengals on this one. Closer than we think, but Cincinnati comes out with it.
Is Jamar Chase still out?
I think so. I
feel
think
like
so.
it's been
Yeah,
at least
he's
3
out,
weeks
but
now.
I mean, shit, dude. Joe Mixon said that
Joe
ain't
Mixon
nothing.
has been going crazy. Oh,
Yeah.
bye. 2
I
weeks
mean,
ago, had a
I think Minka's out for Pittsburgh, so that's another
okay.
issue.
Mm,
I know he was
I
out
like-
last week. I think he had an appendectomy, so I don't know when he's coming back.
That's like
That
a
sucks.
week. He'll be back in a week. So
I
he might be back
like
this week.
Cincy. If they can just triple team TJ, that should be all right.
Just don't pass the ball.
Or
Just run
or
it.
that.
Don't do anything.
He plays good run defense, but I'd rather play against his run D all game than have him pass rushing.
Just run it up the gut. If
Yeah,
you
I
have
could
a good interior.
I can go heavy all game. Just have 6 linemen in there.
For real.
I mean, if you score 20 points, you're winning this game because the Steelers can't score 20 in a Matt Canada offense. I mean, the thing is, I think the Steelers will put up a fight. I don't think they have enough. I'm going to go Cincy.
Yeah, I think they put up a fight. I think they're at home. Yeah. They're going to put up a good fight.
The only thing I can see them winning is if the Pigeons are on the field, because the Steelers are undefeated when the Pigeons are on the field. It's the only thing.
It might be too cold for them this week.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
They show
So
up.
now all the fans are going to be sneaking in pigeons.
Fake pigeons.
Yeah.
There's going to be news about Mike Tyson's pigeon collection gone missing. It's like, where'd they go? They're at Heinz Field.
Yeah. We needed them.
All right. Who you got, 5?
Oh, I got Bengals.
Oh, you
The
got
Steelers
Bengals.
aren't
All right,
that good.
So we got a consensus Bengals here. With but the Steelers are expected to compete.
Yeah.
All right. Next game, Kansas City at Los Angeles. The Chargers. The Chargers are they are a broken squad, and I mean that literally.
Yeah.
They don't even have, only starter left is Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
And he's forced to throw checkdowns and curl routes.
Yeah, because no one can get open.
He's averaging 5.5 yards an attempt over the past month.
Wow.
This game might have held the same kind of reverence that Minnesota and Buffalo held had the season played out a little bit differently for.
Oh, with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams playing?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think they're still out.
No. I said this would have been that kind of game.
Oh, I was talking if Justin.
Or if they're able to play?
If they had 3 more wins.
Well, with those guys, I'm sure they'd have those wins.
Yeah, with those guys, that their season probably plays out a little bit differently. Now they're chasing the
Herbert
tail.
throwing to the 4 of us right now.
They're chasing the tail of Kansas City, but the divisional record is huge here. If they get a win, they split the division split the series with Kansas City if they can get the win. But we all know that's not going to happen. Kansas City is going to stifle what's left of the Chargers, in my opinion. I'm going with KC.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. And probably not even that close.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah, San Diego or whatever, LA is banged up.
Are destroyed. They have no interior defensive line. I think they've lost 3 defensive tackles to season-ending injuries.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And offensive line, they're banged up too. I think 3 starters down. So
and Bosa's apparently not even close to coming back. So
yeah, he might fuck around and be done till
they'll probably shut him down.
Season.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, if they're not competing for a wild card, they'll probably shut them down.
Yeah. Maybe it really is time to go all grass.
Shoot, that's what That's a good point. That I don't know why the NFL has not just decided to go all grass. I mean, I think that they went to that synthetic shit because they were transitioning away from like AstroTurf, and they went to this. This was like a fad that Nike and I think Nike was one of the companies that came up with that whole, rubber grass type shit. And it was a fad for a few years, but the NFL has kind of held on to it, whereas college has kind of left that shit in the rear view and went all grass.
Yeah, but
the
college is
NFL
like
is all grass,
almost all outdoors. Also,
yeah,
and
they have the
that
resources
shit
to
doesn't really
maintain
hold
that
up
shit.
outdoors.
Yeah, because they can get cheap labor on the college. It's like, oh, now you're part of the agriculture department. Like, go out and fucking seed this grass. Like after class, like we're gonna study the tight patterns of grass. Here's the thing, though: FedEx Field is natural grass. Like it has to be maintained, and it has to be the right shit. I will say this is.
Hey, this is our stadium fucking expert here.
The field turf, though,
yeah.
It depends. Like you guys played on it. Like there's different qualities of field turf, and there's several parks or there's several stadiums that have shitty field turf installed. Like they could do right by just installing the highest grade level field turf. That stuff is nice, man. Like you go to Dallas and you feel their turf. It's like, oh, this is almost
Dallas's
like
turf
Bermuda.
does
like
feel
Bermuda
like grass.
Yeah, and they should just install that everywhere. But they're so cheap. These stadiums, like they don't want to.
Met Stadiums is fine, I guess.
Or some stadiums have like where the field is built in sections, and so there'll be seams.
Yeah, that's the shit I don't like.
Yeah. And then there's naturally going to be like structural integrity issues at the seam always, no matter how much stuff you put on top of it.
Somebody we played against,
feel it as you're running.
It was just like that where there was one time where it was kind of like a moving pile, and you're digging your feet into the ground, and I dug my foot into the ground, and I felt I ripped it ripped open, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, it's like my ankle like sunk and my ankle rolled.
I mean, if you're stitching seams in a fucking field, it's gonna give it some
It's
point.
actually glued down.
You got thousands of pounds of force being applied, as these fucking ogres are struggling and straining to push each other around the damn field. Like, it's not soccer. We're not just like 180 pounds just running around.
But it is pretty bad. Like it's some stadiums do it well. Like I said, I felt like the Cowboy Stadium, very good. Very good.
It's beautiful grass.
It's
like it feels like real grass.
Yeah, when you dig into it, your foot sinks just a little bit, so you feel like you're pushing off of grass.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Jerry was like, I don't want my investments to get torn up out there. Come on now.
I mean, there's a palpable difference the day after a game on turf versus the day after on grass.
Yeah, that is true too.
That's the other thing is when you fall, that's where the give is going to be. I'm sure in a natural grass surface,
grass environment,
there's so much give.
Yeah, your foot gives. Your foot gives on it like a 360-degree axis, like on the grass. Your foot can rotate around and slide, and it gives and it slides with it. Whereas, like, I'm trying to remember who it was. There was somebody who had. They had these field turf, but with field turf, if it gets stomped down so much to where it doesn't have any give anymore, or it doesn't sink at all,
and then they can with wear the pebbles and shit will shift as well.
They'll shift the area where it's thin. You'll play through that game, dude, and when you wake up the next day, your fucking ankles will be on fire. On fire, because there was no give when you're trying to rotate on that ground. So you would just rotate your ankle in place and then push off rather than rotate your whole foot. And that's what sucks. But anyways, let's keep moving here. Tennessee at Green Bay. Has Green Bay bounced back truly after this overtime win against the Cowboys?
No. This is a matchup nightmare for Green Bay because they want to get out and run and score points. Like they want the other team to kind of back off and let them run like an offense. And like the Tennessee's defense is Derrick Henry, so they're just gonna frustrate and annoy Green Bay. And when they do get out there and 3 and out, then it's over. Like Green Bay is. They came from behind on the Cowboys, but the Cowboys kind of helped.
Yeah,
them
Cowboys
out.
blew them out. Cowboys blew it.
Yeah, the Cowboys gave them a lot of assistance. They should have won that game.
Rip defeat from the jaws of victory.
Yeah,
Cowboy way.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, I'm hoping for that to happen in January too, or maybe they don't even get there.
That always happens in January. Give it time.
That's right, Justin.
That's our specialty.
We're hating on you.
Hey,
all right.
Dak Prescott quarterback sneak.
I think Tennessee does. I think that they do go into Green Bay, and I think they do pull it out. I think.
Oh, this game's tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You got to feel like Tennessee is got to know that you have to run the ball at least 30 times this game.
Yeah, but I don't think
that's par for the course.
Tannehill's just not the guy. Okay, he's not the guy.
Green Bay also needs to run it at least 30 times.
Yeah. Now, if you have both
they just
teams
don't want to admit
it. That's going to be a hell of a game.
Yeah, that's so sad.
Is Tennessee's defense going to be healthy? I know they were without Simmons, they were without Cunningham, they were without Bud Dupree, and I believe Hooker in this last game. Are all 4 of them coming back? Or are they still going to be hurt? That's my question.
Wait, don't they have the flu running through their facility right now, don't they?
Something like that. And I know they've had a couple
5 or 6 guys on defense that are already
a couple existing injuries too, like no Harold Landry, he's been out for the year. Caleb Farley, I think he's out for the year too. So they're kind of banged up.
It might be enough for me. I don't
know.
It's a coin flip still. I mean,
I agree.
I like
I
Tennessee.
could easily see it going either way, but
I like Tennessee.
Green Bay is pretty banged up.
Just for me to feel better about what happened last week, I want Green Bay to look really good.
Okay. You're looking out from the Cowboys fan perspective.
That's for strength of schedule. Strength of schedule.
There you go. Or strength of record.
Yeah, I'm going with Tennessee. I don't even like picking Tennessee, but I'm gonna go with Tennessee on that one.
That's got to be hard for you.
Yeah. But there's something about seeing Aaron Rodgers fail that's just been so gleeful to see it this year. I like all the finger pointing and all that bullshit.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, I didn't like all that.
His main strength is deflecting on Pat McAfee, just dodging all those bullets, rolling with it.
What a fucking masterful dodger he is. He dodges all responsibility when it comes to bad plays on Sundays.
All right.
So I think were we consensus on this, or are we split up on this?
No, I'm going Pack.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, he's okay. That's only the center because that's for purposes outside of the game.
Yes. That's self-serving right there.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, next game up, we got the Commanders coming off the biggest win probably in the last 5 years for Washington.
Actually, more than that. Remember, they won 11-0 in 2020, so probably second biggest.
Yeah, they broke the.
I mean that was a fraudulent 11-0, but still, they were the team to break.
Yeah, it was still 11-0. Okay, so we got a Washington Commanders team that looks like it looks like they've gotten something from Ron Rivera that's it's given them a little bit different feel than in the past. I mean, before we would just make jokes and laugh and move on. But now they have an air of legitimacy after taking down the undefeated Eagles. Now, the Eagles did help in taking themselves down as well. But, I mean, hey, that's a win for them. Ron Rivera has been preaching the same things, week in and week out, trying to get that team on the right page. And it looks like they got a little something. Now they're going into Houston. They're going to be playing against the Texans. I damn near expect the Commanders to fuck this off. I think that now they think they're good, which you're 500, you're okay, but you're not good. And the one thing about teams in the position that the Commanders are in right now is that all it takes is for 1 week of thinking that they've actually taken a bigger step than they have, and a team that shouldn't be able to beat them might kick their ass, and they'll be so shell shocked they won't be able to respond.
Yeah, they're gonna be riding
With
high.
all that
That's
being
for sure.
said, with all that being said,
Go for the tie? Is that where you're trying to?
no, I'm not going for the tie. No,
okay.
no,
I
no.
thought you were
not
clicking on the
tie.
tie. I was like, oh,
No.
okay. That's where we're at.
With Houston, they are bad though, dude. They are bad. They are the tank of tanks.
My gut says that these motherfuckers are going to pull it out. But
I
don't think they want to jeopardize the tank though. So
I think Chase Young is back this week.
I think so. You are correct.
Should help a little bit. Although I mean he wasn't what we thought when we last saw him either. I'm still gonna go Washington. I think they got enough juice right now.
Yeah, I'm not going to
For the lowly
disrespect
Texans.
Ron Rivera by saying he can't coach a good enough game to get them past these cats. But this is dangerous for them. And they're not out of this. They can actually, they're only a couple of games out in the division, Washington. I mean, they can overtake the Cowboys if they
Don't do that. Don't do that.
All right, so I think we're consensus. Washington should pull this out. What about Philly at Indianapolis? Now, certainly, Jeff Saturday will not see another win.
He's running the table. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Any given Saturday, baby.
I mean,
Certainly.
if Philly didn't lose last week, I think they would have had a shot. But these ain't the Raiders.
No, the Raiders.
Yeah, they're not going to let you do that
disarray.
shit to them again.
And Philly is pissed off, and they're like, we are not going to lose another game that we're supposed to win. So figure it out.
Yeah. You're probably going to see their most polished, methodical, unglamorous, like no celebrating, no dancing around. They're going to go in there, beat the shit out these bums and leave.
Protect the ball.
With little fanfare.
I mean, other than 4 turnovers, like they should have beaten fucking Washington. Like they kept coughing the
but
ball
4
up.
turnovers means you played a shit game. 4 turnovers means you played a shit game.
It was 4 different players all had a bad game though. It wasn't one dude that just cost them. You know, it was dude, people had balls ripped out of their hands and shit. Like they just played sloppy and it showed. And but they still have all the talent. Like that's what it takes to beat them. That's how good they are. That's what's pissing me off. They're fucking good.
So I think we're all in agreement. This should be a game that there's going to be blood everywhere.
All right.
I mean, my quarterback's playing. if there's a chance in hell, which I don't think there is. I love the guy, but not your week.
Yeah. All right, next game. Oh, I forgot Carolina. They still got to play some games, huh? They got Carolina at Baltimore. I think it's safe to say Baltimore is going to eat them for lunch. Maybe not if they were going into Carolina, but they're not going into Baltimore. I've played there enough times to know you're not going in there and just if you're having a bad season, you're not going in there and getting no win.
Is Baker starting?
I think he is.
I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Let me take a quick look. I think
well, they started PJ Walker last week. Like,
I think he's injured though.
He's not. Baker's playing a high ankle sprain for PJ.
Baker Maker, the turnover shaker.
Yep. Baker is PJ Walker is out. Baker is in.
I mean, it wouldn't matter. I mean, it could be Jake Delhomme. If I can go Ravens.
It don't matter who the fuck it is.
Jake
they might get their ass kicked.
Chris Winkie.
Yeah.
Jimmy Clausen.
Sam
Kerry Collins.
Kerry Collins. What other QBs for
Will Greer?
Will Greer. Oh God.
Cam Newton.
Cam.
We already saw his reunion.
Prime Cam may have given him a chance, but I mean, are we talking 2021 Cam?
Only because he was doing everything.
Yeah.
Look where it got him.
Let's keep moving here. Another group of teams that Look like hot
this
garbage
is
right
gonna
now.
be
You
a
got
trash-
LA at New Orleans.
This might be trashier than Raiders
Yeah, that's
Broncos.
trash heap. I got the Saints in that.
Let's ride.
The Rams are bad. The Rams don't
Who's
even
playing
care.
quarterback?
They're just like, all
They
right,
sure don't care, and you can tell.
Yeah.
I'm going with the
we don't
Saints,
have a
too.
draft pick. We got to wait for Stafford to just retire or get surgery or
Is
something.
he going to play?
I don't know.
I think he's
No,
still
I
in
don't
concussion
think he's playing, right?
protocol.
Oh no, he's out of it. He's out of it. He's
He didn't play last week.
back. I think he's back. Hold on.
I mean, 2 weeks is. I mean, I guess you never know. But for did he come out of the game? He got concussed.
No, he didn't play last week.
No, the game before that. Did he? Was there a play like this is it? Like this is when he got.
They said he was a full participant in practice today. Full participant.
Okay, so he'll probably play
for Sunday's game. Yeah, he's supposed to be getting cleared, so he should be playing.
But I mean, still.
Yeah, it doesn't really change much. He hasn't been looking good anyway. So what are we consensus on this, or are we split? I think LA is just. I mean, like you said, they don't give a fuck. They got a ring. They said fuck this year. Once cats start getting hurt, once they start having issues, they say, you know what, let's just roll through.
Hey, just chop your feet. Make sure you don't get rolled up.
Yeah, let's just go. Hey, just don't even worry about it, fellas. Next season. Next fucking season, guys.
Next year's our year.
Yeah, this year, let it ride. Nobody's going to be mad at us for fucking off one. Okay.
Yeah,
Even McVay is like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it off. Cooper Cup. Cooper.
Oh, he's on IR now.
He's on IR. He's done.
Yeah, Cup is done.
He said, "Fuck this shit."
So that means
his season.
That means
so look out for the Aaron Donald turf toe.
Yeah, turf toe, fucking
hangnail,
bruised ribs.
Something's gonna put him on IR next.
Yeah.
The Jalen Ramsey ankle sprain.
Yeah, Jalen finna go down with an ankle sprain.
Dude, y'all knew that, right? When there was nothing to play for in the season, you're like, why are we doing this now? Like,
everybody except for the old linemen who don't nobody give a shit about.
Yeah,
I'd watch these defensive backs and these fucking wideouts not practice all week.
Oh, you tore your hamstring off the bone? Get the fuck out there.
Yeah. Oh, wait, we need you out there. We got to put this show on, okay?
We can only dress 7 linemen.
You're like the one person that can't call in for work. Everybody, like all the teachers call in. You're the fucking janitor and the security.
They got my ass wrapped. They got
the building.
They got the training staff to wrap my leg from the thigh all the way down to the ankle.
Yeah.
You got a bruised bone in your knee. You got a sprained MCL, and we'll see you at practice. Get early and get picked up. Like, what?
There was weeks I wasn't fit to push my fucking lawnmower.
Bro, I'm watching the film after practice. Like, look at that leg. It never been past like 12 degrees.
Did y'all have to do that shit like during the season? Like, fucking, you're playing on Sundays, and then like Tuesday, you're like, "Fuck, I gotta mow my lawn," and you have to go out there and do that shit, or y'all would just stay in like an apartment or something.
I was in a condo.
Oh, okay.
I had motherfucking lawn guys.
Yeah,
that'd
be some crazy shit. You're like you're on your rookie deal or some shit.
Like, hey.
You're like, shit, I gotta mow the lawn because your wife don't give a fuck. That's the thing.
I mean, why do you think Tom Brady doesn't want to go home?
Yeah, the wife, she don't give a fuck. Like, even if you that rich, right? Like, you still have to make the call to go get the pool fixed, right? And and then so like Giselle's bitching at Tom. She's like, "Why is this pool broke?" Like, and he's like, "I don't know. Just
I don't
call
know
somebody." Right. But then 3 weeks later they get into a huge argument. It's not about the pool, it's some bigger issue and shit, and it's just bullshit. But it don't matter who you are, there's always going to be an argument.
It's always bull. You always on the fuck. I'm not even going to get started. Let's keep going.
How long we got?
Detroit at New York.
I'm gonna go Saints. Sorry.
Oh yeah, you got Saints. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What really hurts me to say. Saints. You know how bad that fucking hurts.
Yeah. Saints by like 3.
Yeah.
Detroit at New York taking on the Giants. Giants got to feel like they got to feel like they can get that division. But you know what's crazy about this fucking record? They've only got one divisional game.
Yeah. Well,
They must be
because
like-
they play
They're gonna play all
Washington in 2
Their
out of
last
3 weeks.
quarter, their
it's
last
gonna be
quarter
like
of their
division
schedule is
game,
going to be all
division
divisional.
game.
Yeah. So that's why
Wow,
they need to.
wow.
I think this game is really important for them because, if 10 wins is what gets you in the playoffs, like, and you already have 7, like, you got to grab these non-divisional games
Yeah,
while
you got to
can.
get all the non-divisional because you don't know about them divisional games.
Yeah, and that's why I see they're probably going to bring a huge effort. I bet you Daboll is coaching them up for this game because they cannot afford to have some bullshit happen. Detroit, yeah, they did win last week against Chicago, but again, that's a divisional game where Chicago really fucked up. Like, Chicago had that game won, and they just fucking started laying down. They're like, oh shit, we're tanking. New York has to win this game. So I feel like this might be, I mean, here's the thing, like, they got to start smelling their own shit, right? If you're a 7-2, how many 7-2 teams do you not believe in?
I don't know that.
You know what I'm saying?
You smell your own shit. I just think you're confident that you can overcome any, I would say, semi-common occurrence in the game that could trip you up.
Yeah,
like going down 10 early, or maybe having a couple of early turnovers. You can overcome those.
Yeah, they finally last week put together a complete win where they just got out in front of the Texans and they stayed out in front. Like, this is something that they can do against Detroit. Like, they can handle this. Yeah. This is not a impossible task.
Danny Dimes can do this about 40 times.
He can. Right. The thing about Dimes is he can make all the throws. It's just they don't need him to, like.
They don't
and don't ask him to do anything that puts you at any more risk than necessary.
Game manager.
Yeah,
game manager.
Kenny Galladay.
Just pull it down and run.
Hold on, Kenny Galladay. Oh no, I dropped the ball.
Oh, I'm surprised you saw him, dude. He had 2 targets in the first half, and he was so nonchalant or just couldn't get open. They're like, nah, we're good.
Yeah, I mean, he had a bad drop.
They're like, we're good.
I mean, bad.
Go ahead and sit down. Yeah,
I mean, he already has his money. He just doesn't care.
I don't know, man.
I mean, look,
you can't play for Brian Daboll.
Yeah, that dude's brought a whole new energy to the franchise. You can't play for that. Then who can you play for?
Yeah, nobody.
I feel that.
Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah.
All right.
Albert Hainsworth his last year.
We got Chicago at Atlanta. This is not a this is a tough one to call, maybe. I feel like Atlanta's defense is so suspect that this could be a problem for them dealing with Justin Fields.
They got some problems in the secondary right now.
We got some real problems in that secondary. I mean, cats are just. I mean, we saw what happened with Carolina.
But it's also not like Chicago's throwing the ball all over the place.
Dude, last week the over between Chicago and Detroit was like 49, which is a super high cover. And at half there was only like 31 points scored or something like that, and I was sweating that shit. Dude, any game involving Chicago, there's going to be a ton of points because they cannot defend, and Justin Fields is going absolutely insane. So take the over in this game. There's going to be a lot of points.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a high scorer, but I also feel like, as you see with Atlanta, there's going to be a drive or two that are going to go shit tits up.
Yeah. And Mariota make a bad throw.
And that's going to put them behind the 8 ball, and that's where they're going to stay. I think Chicago goes in and pulls it out.
I like Chicago too, but they suck on defense. They
got rid of all their guys.
Stop anyone. Yeah, they traded away all their fucking staff. They knew what they were doing. And the thing that's derailing them is Justin Fields is playing well now. Like, he's just like, they're like, wait a minute. We're trying to tank.
We might be okay. Like, nah, bitch.
Well, it's like, oh no, there's a Justin Fields. You're injured with an ankle. You're out for the year.
Yeah, you're on IR now.
Next year. You're good.
Yeah. You're on IR now.
And then, and then they realize, like, oh shit, our second round pick is in Pittsburgh's territory. Oh well.
Yeah, you're Jim Sorgi now. Put you on IR.
Yeah, it really hurts me, but I think this is Chicago's.
Yeah, I don't want to pick Chicago, but I feel like
But I think we're going to get some kind of home cooking at some point. But
A little bit.
I'm not sure if
little
it's
bit.
enough to overcome.
I'm going to take the Falcons because
But
Chicago
this is
is
also
just
Justin
so
Fields coming
openly
home.
tanking. Yeah.
Justin Fields from right up the street.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, he is?
He's going to be looking to go crazy.
Is he from Buckhead? Where is he from?
He from
Oh, I
Gwinnett,
just meant UGA.
Oh, Gwinnett?
Oh, he went to UGA. Yeah, he did go to UGA.
He was there for a hot minute.
Yeah.
Oh, he
Yeah, he
transferred
had
out.
that.
Yeah.
Some
Sure.
baseball player like called him something, and he transferred up to Ohio State.
Oh,
But he started off at UGA.
Mm-hmm. I think he played in the 2018 national championship. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Fields?
Yeah, I think it was there
briefly,
very briefly.
Oh.
Yeah, but he also, when he was
Who was the QB in that
He's from
game?
Kennesaw.
In the Tua game.
He's from Kennesaw, yeah. So he's from north.
Yeah, so that's right up the street then.
2018 national championship. That was, yep. Who was the quarterback in that
I
game
forget.
for Georgia? I
JT
see it.
Daniels.
Wait, which game now? I'm sorry.
The 2017 Bulldogs. I'm trying to look up that roster. Hold on.
Did they make national title that year?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
Tua game. That's when Jalen Hurts was
yeah,
sucking
yeah, yeah.
ass, and Tua came in, and then fucking.
Was it JT Daniels?
No, it's Jake Fromm, dude.
Jake Fromm. Oh,
Jake from State Farm was the quarterback. Jacob Eason might have
Yeah, I remember
been,
Easton, yeah.
and then Sam Vaughn. Those were the three quarterbacks.
yeah,
Jeez.
But I think
Mm.
Fromm was the starter, though.
yeah. Fromm was the starter both years. Fields
As a
played in
freshman.
18.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So Justin Fields, I don't think it was on this roster.
I think he played the next year.
He might have been a red shirt.
Yeah, he might have been redshirted.
Yeah.
No, I'm not seeing him anywhere on this roster.
I thought he was. My bad.
No.
Fields was on the roster though. In 18, he did play.
They had
Yeah, I think 18 he was-
Sam Vaughn, Bryce Ramsey, Jake Fromm, Stetson Bennett was on that roster on the 2017
Ooh.
team.
Well, he
Holy
is about
shit.
38 years old.
Yeah, Stetson Bennett is my age. That dude, that dude just proves that size. As long as he might make it into the league. He's been playing really well.
Somebody will take him.
Stetson Bennett.
Yep. I mean, it'd be like a late round guy or something.
Yeah,
He'll
maybe
be like
turn
seventh
him
round.
into a
backup.
coach. He might be a good placeholder.
He'll be a good
for the-
OC in
Yeah.
a decade.
Yeah,
Like
he
go
would sell
to Miami.
insurance.
Chase Daniels done made like $50 million. So
That's
you ain't
true.
telling me like this
He's
cat
had
can't do that.
10 career
Yeah.
starts, I think, for Chase Daniel, $50-some million.
I mean, to run scout teams,
Bastards. Quarterbacks.
to run
Yeah.
fucking scout teams.
Good work if you can get it.
Oh yeah.
True. I mean, they don't come up open that often.
I know, right?
Just like
All right.
kickers.
Cowboys at Vikings. Honestly,
We're actually
believe
favored, I
that the
think,
Vikings.
Somehow.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna last. Vikings are gonna
Vikings.
Fuck you guys.
I mean, I nothing against the Cowboys. I just think the Vikings are really good.
the
I do
Vikings
too.
just set themselves on fire. They got that team takeover perk on NBA 2K for the next game.
10-point morale boost for the whole team.
You know what I mean? Everybody's stats goes up 10 points for one game. And the Cowboys just came in off an overtime loss. Everybody's stats are down by 2. So they're gonna get their asses crushed.
Crushed.
A victim of circumstance. What do y'all think?
I physically can't pick against the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, I know you can't.
With everything, I mean, everything's pointing to Vikings.
Won't do
it.
It's going to be
Won't do
evenly matched. People are sleeping on the Cowboys. The Cowboys are still good, man.
I'm
Like
not fucking leaving.
Like they're not trash, man.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. They scare me as a Giants fan because they fucking score points.
Yeah,
It's
because you in a
fucking
division.
annoying.
It's a different game when
Yeah,
you're playing
that's
with
true.
them.
You're right.
These
You're right.
Vikings
But we-
got too much.
Vikings don't care. Vikings
We
gonna
have
run
to
out
stop
of
the run. We
Listen,
have to
here's
stop
what's
them
gonna
running.
happen. The Cowboys gonna win because we can't have nice shit, and Cowboys fans are gonna go from being distraught last week to talking all the shit online. All the shit.
They want all the smoke with everybody.
Listen, if you win the way the Vikings win all the time, eventually you're going to catch an L. The way that they win.
But they already caught an L.
Wait, what?
He gets 2.
2 months ago?
Yeah.
2 months ago?
They only lost to Philly, right?
Yeah. So they're going to be
Woodshed in that game.
Yeah, they're going to be all right. Yeah.
They can afford to give us this one. But we really need to shore up the run defense. It's
Dalvin Cook is going to be fucking cutting up lanes on y'all.
I mean, Green Bay, who hasn't run the ball all fucking year, just opened up
ran
a
the
can
ball all up in y'all ass.
No Vaseline.
Look,
no Vaseline.
This Minnesota squad is better than them. Better at running it than they are because they get more practice at it.
Yeah, Dalvin.
Dalvin Cook has some. I think he has the best vision of all the running backs and all the top running backs in the NFL.
Great
when
vision,
he gets into the space or when he finds the hole, like his shiftiness when he moves is just
he's a home run threat every time.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a home run hitter.
Yeah.
So all right, I
like
think we're
Derrick Henry just bludgeons people. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, he's got moves, like, but they're
not
big
moves,
man moves.
but his moves are all in the same. His moves stay along that same track, that track moving straight forward.
Yeah.
He doesn't stop. He doesn't move from straight forward to literally lateral that moment.
As I'm trucking you, I will also throw a stiff arm.
Yeah, that's what he'll do. He'll run through stiff arm, throw somebody into the stands while he's running straight. Which I mean, that's his thing. It works.
At 250. I mean, that's probably what he should be doing.
It works.
He's like if Marshawn Lynch was just like a little bit bigger and a little bit like had more cuts, like that, and that's scary to think about it. Like that's kind of how he reminds me of. I mean, I know they're two different backs.
That's crazy.
But
you don't see backs that tall.
Yeah, he's 6'4".
I mean, maybe like Eric Dickerson was pretty tall.
That's Eddie George. I mean,
Eddie
George was a beast. He was fun to watch too.
Yeah, typically, you're like 6 foot is like the upper end of running backs.
Yeah, 6'1" is like tall for a running back. You're like, oh shit, you're big. Then you see Barkley out there 5'8", 5'9", just shifty as fuck. You know how it is. You know how it is.
With that low center of gravity, it's like motherfuckers can't hit you.
Maurice Jones-Drew.
Yeah, Mojo. Yeah, 5'7", barely.
Fuckers built like
tough
spark
as
plugs.
shit. Yeah, somebody you just don't want to fuck with, and you're just like, all right, yeah, okay, I don't want to fuck with you. I don't care if you're 5'8".
Like a little weeble wobble.
Yeah,
they never topple.
They don't never topple over. They're just like, okay.
Last game of this week.
Is this the one in Mexico City?
Yes,
Mexico City,
Mexico.
San Fran going and playing against the Cardinals in Mexico.
Don't drink the water.
Whoa. I mean, look, we know what this is. San Fran should be able to go in there and make this happen. These Cardinals, I mean, they may be getting back Kyler Murray. He's got a hamstring injury he's dealing with. But I mean, what kind of player are you going to get when you get Kyler Murray out there? Reckless.
What was he doing before?
Modern Warfare's fucking battle royale.
Not
the new map.
Warzone just dropped. He ain't going. He's been playing Warzone this whole time.
He ain't watched no film today. You know that.
Yeah. He's like, oh, what the new? He's like, new update is tight. Shoot House map is out.
Dude, that film draws. The only thing Cliff Kingsbury tells him to do is just like go run around and bail me out. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Fuck it, DeAndre down there.
They're as mid as a team could be at this point,
and they should be better, but they just did it to themselves.
Yeah.
I think they put Ertz on ER.
Yep, Ertz is out for the year. He's out for the year.
No, he's done. Yeah.
So he saw the writing on the wall.
No, like
it's just a grade 1. You know, it's not that bad. Nope.
I think.
Nope. I'm out.
I think he got carted off. I think
he did.
So
he did.
Serious.
He's having surgery. Yeah.
So he's done.
So when they say ankle sprain, but you got to have surgery, that means broken leg.
Oh shit!
Something's broken leg.
I didn't see it or even know
Why
what
else
it
would
was.
you need
Wow.
surgery for a sprain unless your shit broke, really? And
Well, I mean,
they
a
say
high ankle
high
sprain is
sprains-
essentially a break.
Yeah, they say that's
Yeah.
essentially a broken leg.
It's very similar to a break. So I wish for a speedy
I've
recovery
seen
for
cats.
him.
I've seen cats miss like 10 weeks off a damn high ankle sprain.
Yeah, I've heard sometimes it's better to just break it than have a high ankle
better
sprain.
you
Oh,
just
yeah.
clean.
A clean
know.
break.
I don't know. I don't want to
I
break.
mean, I don't want either
I don't
one.
want
but-
either.
And I've
I
had
don't want
high ankle-
either.
Nope.
I've
Don't
had
give me
high
none of
ankle
that shit.
sprains. And I know that shit sucks.
I had
but-
a ankle sprain and it sucks, but I've never had to break. I've never broke my shit, and
Right.
I don't ever want to
Doesn't
feel
sound
that
like fun.
shit. Like, hell
You're
no.
telling me it's better? Like,
Yeah. Don't tell me shit. Tell me I don't want either of them shit. I don't
So,
want to sprain.
turns
ankle
out I
or
would have
broken
rather
ankle.
broken my leg than
Yeah.
had high ankle sprains all these
Yeah.
years. But
You
that
just
shit-
making
that
up
sucks.
shit. This is you like that dude asking hypothetical questions. Don't ask me hypothetical questions. Would you suck a dick for $1 million? Who's offering me $1 million?
Show me the
Okay.
money.
Yeah.
Don't
Put
need
that
a
money
million.
in front of me and we'll talk. Okay. What fucking dude with $1 million wants some straight dude? You know what I'm saying? When you can get to go down the street and get that shit for like half off, or
Right.
$10. You can just
Oh,
go to
boy.
Qatar.
Wow.
Ooh, all right. So
$10 in a meal.
that's our picks for week 11. I think we got some pretty good picks here. I think we made some good decisions. There's not going to be shouldn't be a lot of shenanigans this week, especially. I mean, I feel like this one is the only one we got to watch. We need to watch out and see what the score is. I think this is going to be a terrible game. I can't wait though. I wonder if they'll actually have a tie. That'd be awesome. But that is going to be it for us. That is our show for tonight. Oh, wait. I digress. 1 second. We have to take a quick look at the fantasy league because your boy won this week.
You're back.
You
in
got
the
a
W
second
part.
win. There you go.
Woo!
Motherfucker.
Got me a quick win. Them Bishop Sycamore phonies.
So this
Got
came
that
down.
Bishop.
This came down to one player playing on Monday night. I needed Taylor Heineke to give me 15 points.
Woo!
Quarterback should always give you 15. How the fuck does this guy win a
Man.
game and only get 6 points? If nothing else, they should have given like a couple points for the kneel down at the end that drew the roughing the or the unnecessary roughness. Like, come on, I'm begging here. Do something for me.
Okay, we got some. Let me see my squad. See, I'll tell you what. I'm
you're
actually
injured as
accepting
shit.
offers. Yeah, my guys are fucking done. This
Oh,
is
I mean, the waivers are dead.
These are supposed to be my starters.
If somebody gets hurt, you're fucked.
But I do got Justin Fields. If somebody want to talk business, I need 2 players for him. 2. So if you want to talk
2
business,
starters.
we can
I'll
talk
give you
business
my-
because
I'll give you my whole bench.
I got Patrick Mahomes over here, and I got Jonathan Taylor. And he balled out. He had another one of those games.
and a soda.
Yeah, I mean, matter of fact, if I could move him over here, I put him at running back. Fuck it, but I can't do that. So
Can't do it.
Yeah, they should let you get
we'll see.
creative.
We'll see.
I can only offer
We'll see,
Taysom Hill
we'll
and
see.
Kenny Galladay.
You said 2
All
players.
right, folks. That is going to be it for us here. We hope y'all enjoyed the show tonight. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out. We will see y'all next
Go
week.
USA.
And
Team USA.
we will
Qatar.
and we're going to
They
keep
play
our
what,
eyes
Saturday?
on.
Fuck Qatar.
Yeah,
We lose
we're
to the
gonna
Welsh,
hope
hell
those-
will be paid.
Hope that the fucking Americans can do something to make us proud of them.
Maybe
in
get to
soccer.
the semifinals or
That's
something.
like England Junior, right?
Yep. No, not even.
Okay.
All right, folks. We catch
mean-
y'all on the next one.
As a soccer team, not as a country.
Yeah.
Don't, like, jump on me
It's a
for that.
soccer team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Soccer team. Yeah, they're
I
the
don't need
juniors.
people like jumping on my ass, like not
Yeah,
knowing geography.
Yes, sir. We are out of here.
Right.
Peace.
So-